Alright guys, we're back with more Lost Judgment. This will be it for today. I go to work after this, so yeah, we're continuing on though. So which one do we need to re-examine? Maybe this?
Can you take a closer look at
Damn it.
this?
I guess
That's
not.
the Ikebukuro station platform.
You can tell because they usually
What
change
about it?
music when you pick the right one.
Kawano was pretending to be a Hara. Then Kawano was also the man in the video before he got on the train, correct?
Right. Didn't we go over this already?
Yes we did, huh? This came out pretty clearly.
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Because I
The guy
kind
in
of
the
don't
back
want
is
to get it at
Kawano
this point.
posing
I
as
kind
a
of want
Hara,
to just like
right?
see all these different
Yes.
situations.
And he actually didn't lay a finger on me. His prints couldn't show up.
Sounds like you had a hell of a time getting this set up.
I didn't. But Sensei sure did.
How about this then?
What's this? A map of the station?
We made a diagram of Shinjuku Station. The platform's packed with cameras, but take a closer look and you'll notice a small blind spot.
We've all been looking into it. So, let's say Ahara murdered Mikoshiba and faked his alibi at the station. If that was the case, then after Ahara had his stand-in do the deed, they would have swapped at this blind spot.
You...
Sound about right?
Is I give up what you're looking for? You figured it out. You win. What more do you want?
I think it's this one then.
Any thoughts after seeing this?
Oh, maybe not. I guess this is the last one I'm
Stop
gonna
it.
pick. God damn it.
You're gonna look away? You aided and abetted by
Oh,
playing
totally
the
not.
victim,
Mark has a new video.
didn't you?
I mean,
Anything from them or
Who put this
YouTube
video
because
up on
I
the
haven't. This is going to be my last video addressing and updating what's been going
Is it
on
from
with
the start
Toei
that once
Animation.
Ihara-san
And I
got
say
his
that not
guilty
because I've heard
verdict,
anything
he'd
from
upload
them
it to the
or
internet.
YouTube because I haven't.
That was all
It's
part
not
of the
because I haven't
plan.
felt an enormous amount of support from so many people because I
Sensei
have.
can't forget
It's
the
actually
law
for an
for how
entirely
easy it
different
lets
reason I
us
never
lose.
thought would be a factor, and
Ihara-san's the
that's
same
me.
way.
Whenever I would
His
work on a
son's
video in
death
the
was
past, no
brushed
matter how
aside.
long it was or how
They
tired I
blamed
got
his
while working
suicide
on it, I
unknown
never felt
factors.
comfortable settling for anything less than
And
what I
that's what let
thought
them
was the
take his
very
whole
best I
thing.
could do. And over the years, I've grown accustomed
real
to pushing
victim was some
myself to work
bully who
harder,
never got
longer,
what he
and all
deserved,
that
and the
comes with
killer
that
gets off in
mindset,
court by being
regardless of how I
convicted of
felt
property.
physically. Which is a big reason as
How
to
would the
why
public
those videos I
respond
lost
after
meant
finding
so
out they
much to
tamed
me.
the law
But
like
today,
that?
I think I've
So
reached my
Kawano
limit.
and Ahara's
To be
real
clear,
plan
I would never consider
was to make a
myself someone
mockery
that
out of the
suffered from
justice
any
system.
form of anxiety. I'm very fortunate in that
Seems to
regard,
be
but
going
over the
worse
last
now.
week, I've
The
not been
courts are
able to
beside
sleep, and
themselves to
due to
drag
the
more
anxiety
cases into
associated
this.
with this occasion and the
I
scope
guess
of it,
Ahara
I've also
really
had
was
trouble
desperate.
eating. This is an
He
entirely
was
new
never
experience for
concerned
me,
about
and
his
one that
own
has been
punishment.
fueled by what's been going on both
Tarnished his own
publicly
name
and
to
privately in
humiliate
my
the
personal
law.
life. To say that a lot of
Yeah,
things went wrong
cop
this
or
week
not,
would be an
Ahara's a
understatement, and
broken
how
man.
this has impacted me and
Nobody
made me
took
feel has been
responsibility
something
for
I
his
never
son's death.
expected. The difference in
Courts
how I
all
was
but threw
feeling
out
in the
his
first
case.
video and the second video
No
was
wonder he went
enormous,
along with
and
Kawano.
today it's even worse.
I can't
In those
even
videos, I
imagine.
tried to be as honest and
Yeah.
transparent about how I was feeling and the
Sensei and
details that were
Ihara-san,
unfolding around me.
pair
I
with
chose to
nothing
make
to
this
lose.
public
The
because I
only
wanted
ones
not
who
to
do
lose 3
are
years
the
worth
ones
of
forced to
work for what I
comply.
considered to be unfair reasons. But I don't think that this is
Speaking of
something
which,
that can
are we
change.
done here yet?
At least not now. I hope it does in the future, but right now I need this to be over. I no longer stand by a boycott of Toei Animation. And in our first step in moving away from this horrible week, the 2 videos I've made addressing this situation will be unlisted and a new video will be released
What do you
tomorrow.
make of
It's the
this?
first half of my review for The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew
I mean,
Garfield.
what's there to
The portion
doubt?
of that video that I will upload tomorrow was written, recorded, and
tell me.
edited before this whole
The
thing
one running in the
happened. And
platform
unfortunately,
wasn't
I
Ihara's.
wasn't able to
It
finish
was
it.
Sensei
This will also
pretending to
be my
him,
last video
right?
of 2021. And over the next few weeks leading into
There is no
2022,
one.
I need to sit
That's all
back
there
and
is to
reassess
it.
with my team
Ihara-san
how
used
we're
a
feeling
stand-in to
and
fake
what our
his
plans
alibi.
will be for the future of
The
this channel.
stand-in
To
turned
those
out
of
to be
you
none
that
other
wanted
than
me to
Jin
keep
Kawano,
pushing this
which
cause, I'm
Mamiya-san
sorry that
just
I
finished
can't keep
explaining in
going.
detail.
And to those that found my
Good to
actions
know we have all our
disrespectful,
ducks in a
know
row.
that this was never my intention. I was just trying to stand up for what I thought I should. Either way, this entire week hasn't been
Yes,
fruitless.
this.
Thanks to you and the love that you've shared with both myself
This
and my
piece of the
team
puzzle
over the
still
last
needs an
week,
explanation.
10,000 United States dollars will be donated
Is
to
that-
the Light Ring charity, which
The
supports
police
suicide
examined the
prevention for the
trace
youth of
evidence on
Japan.
Ahara's hands
And honestly,
after he
that's
was
what I'm
caught.
going to be focusing on after
And
all
from
of
the
this.
analysis,
The
same
generosity of
fibers
all
from
of you to
Mamiya-san's
help myself
undergarments were found on
children
Ahara's
of Japan
hands.
this Christmas.
That's
So
right.
thank you,
If
have
the
a happy
stabbing was the
holiday,
blooper,
and I'll see you.
Ahara-san wouldn't have touched Mamiya-san at all. But the evidence on Ahara-san's hands suggests otherwise. Rather strange, isn't it?
I take it there was a trick to this, too?
That's simple. Before I got in the train, I met with the real Ihara-san at the underground platform. That's when I had him touch the undergarments. After that, all I had to do was go to the bathroom and put them on. That's where the fibers in the trace were from. What the police found on Ihara-san's hands was exactly what we wanted them to find. And it would serve as hard proof he grabbed me. The courts really ate it up. It was hard not to laugh sometimes, to be honest.
You're really starting to open up. That's the spirit.
Yagami-san, you sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think we've got plenty. Bottom line, groping was a fabrication. At the very least, we know that the prosecution's evidence can all be refuted.
The courts were being intentionally misled. I'm considering filing an appeal.
Are you saying you want a retrial?
I am. We'll reveal Ahara and Kawana's plot and overturn the verdict they issued.
That might be harder than it sounds.
Why do you say that, Kanda-sensei?
Well, the previous trial resulted in Ahara being found guilty, right? As the client, if he doesn't want an appeal, there's no way you're getting one. Doesn't matter what any lawyer tries to do. If Ahara refuses to appeal, then that's that.
And we'll talk to him tomorrow. First, we need to see how he reacts to everything we've got on him.
Sounds good. Then let's meet at the detention center tomorrow.
Will do.
So, we done for the night?
Sure are. Great job, everyone. Go get some rest.
Alright.
Yo, Yagami. You sure it was cool to let that Mamiya chick just go home?
Yeah? Why?
I mean, she helped Kawana kill all those people. Aren't you gonna turn her in or something?
I would. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do?
Frankly, we don't have any proof of the murder she was talking about.
What, so this is all for nothing?
Nothing directly pointing to Mamiya, anyway. Aside from Mikoshiba, no other bodies turned up. Which means all we can do is take her home, right? Sugiura is making sure she gets back safe.
Fine, forget it. Why are you still here? Everyone else went home already.
Come on, man, why the cold shoulder? Am I really that annoying?
You wouldn't be the guy I'd call to hang out with. So if you're done, then go.
Wow. Straight for the jugular, huh?
But if it's help you need, I'll be there. I've had nothing but time lately. But only if you bow your head and ask nice. Then I'll consider it.
I know for a fact you'd help me out regardless, so why waste a good bow? Thanks for the drink.
Dude, come on. That was your cue to bow and ask nice.
Alright, we're gonna hit the, oh, fuck off. Whatever, I'll just run there. Ah, shit.
I wish you hadn't.
Not what it's you. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Fine. Actually, I just realized, do I have skills? Oh, I have a lot. Okay. Where should I get them? Oh, I'll just wait for that. I'll just get for the final attack on him. Forgot, is Kaito still in the hospital or is he out yet? Game. Yeah.
So, you're recommending an appeal? I have that right? Did some new evidence come to light?
Yui Mamiya told us some things, like how you faked your alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. You wanted the sexual battery conviction, right?
Well,
Your goal was to avenge your son and humiliate the law on a grand scale.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ahara-san, we have a much better grasp of the situation than you think.
And what exactly have you grasped?
Like Yagami-san just said, you're innocent. As far as the harassment goes. As your lawyer, I'll file for an appeal. And we'll make sure the world knows it.
Thanks, but no. I'm scum of the earth. A pervert. The prosecution and the judge made that very clear in the verdict.
On the day of the crime, October 7th, at around 6:30 a.m., you were in Ijincho, not Tokyo.
Baloney. I was relaxing at home.
Except that you weren't.
Oh?
You wanted to give the man who pushed your son to suicide the beating of a lifetime. And you'd miss out on that opportunity if you were at home, which is why you were in Ijincho instead. Isn't that right? You and Kawana's former student staked out Mikoshiba's house until he left. Then you dragged your prey into a car and brought him to an abandoned building in Ijincho, which would later become a murder scene. Every bone on Mikoshiba's fingers was broken. Remembering how he pushed Toshiro-kun to his death, it's no wonder you'd go that far. You tortured Mikoshiba without a shred of remorse. You inflicted no small amount of pain and terror. There's no way you weren't there, and I'd put my money on that.
And then...
And you need the whole play-by-play, even though you already know it?
Oh, not at all. I'm just fascinated by this outrageous little story.
That one.
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba,
Okay, and what
Yeah,
exactly is
I
the
knew that was
point
wrong.
of showing this to me?
hang on. That wasn't what I meant to pull out.
Was it, though? Pull yourself together and press on.
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba,
It's wrong. Oh, maybe it's right.
It's quite a home video.
without leaving anything on Mikoshiba's body that could be traced back to you, you slit his throat. Estimated time of death was around 7:30 a.m. on October 7th. You tossed the bloody coat and made your way to Ikebukuro Station, where Yui Mamiya was waiting.
Are you sure? I was at Ikebukuro by 7:30 a.m. would have been impossible for me to kill Mikoshiba and Ijincho.
The person in the security camera footage in Ikebukuro was a double who imitated your likeness. The identity of whom belonged to Jin Kawana, the handyman at Ijincho. Maybe you know him by a different name. Former high school teacher Yu Kitakata. So which name did he give you?
I don't know who you're talking about.
With Kawana in view of the security camera, you met up with Yui Mamiya at Ikebukuro first. That's where you touched the undergarment she had prepared. The police would later discover the trace evidence on your hands and pin the groping on you. Then you made your way to Shinjuku Station. After that, Mamiya and Kawana acted out the groping as they arrived at Shinjuku Station. Kawana jumped out of the train and Mamiya chased after him. And then, in the smallest of blind spots in a station absolutely packed with cameras, you were waiting for Kawana, who looked just like you. With the two of you matching, you were able to swap places in that huge crowd without anyone noticing. Kawana handed you the transit card used to pass the ticket gate. Just one piece of hard evidence that places you in Ikebukuro at 7:43 a.m. And right after the swap, Mamiya started calling for help. After that, well, we've all seen how the news reported it. You were caught in a public place with plenty of witnesses.
An active duty police officer arrested for sexual battery. The public outcry was very clear. As a result, despite it being your first offense, you were actually tried and convicted. The consensus is that it was a fitting punishment for someone so heinous. Even as your lawyer, I felt the same.
Have some confidence in yourself, Shirosaki-sensei. The prosecution, the judge, and a lawyer like you all laid out the evidence in court and found me guilty. I'm in no position to doubt you. And I've long accepted the ruling that Toshiro was never bullied. There's nothing I can do but abide by the rule of law. Right? That's all I can do, right?
I know what you're trying to say. You carried out the justice that the courts wouldn't, right?
Everything my son went through was passed off like it never even happened. School, the teachers, and yes, the court. They all dismissed the reason he died.
That's when Kawana came in the picture, telling you Toshiro-kun had been bullied. Or was it Kawana's words that suddenly made you want to kill Mikoshiba? Because all of his fingers were broken while he was still alive. Was that really all just your pent-up rage?
What do you have to say, Ihara-san?
Did Kawana really tell you? You found enough motive to murder Mikoshiba on hearsay? No. That doesn't sound right at all. Was Sawa-sensei the one who told you the truth? She was the only person Toshiro-kun confided in. You had to have heard it from her, right?
Nearly hit the nail on the head, as they say.
Nearly?
After my trial, she confessed she knew about the bullying. But only to her old teacher over the phone. She had no idea she was being recorded. Kawana-san let me listen to that recording where I learned Sawa-sensei had been muzzled by both the homeroom teacher and the lawyer. That was the proof of Toshiro's bullying I'd wanted all throughout the trial. After hearing Sawa-sensei's words, I finally understood. They pushed my boy over the edge.
Was there no other evidence of the bullying? Like a diary of Toshiro-kun's or something of the sort?
Nothing. Toshiro never talked to me or my wife about the bullying. And that was probably probably all my fault. He was bullied in middle school, too. Kids would throw his pencil case around or hide his books. When I heard about it, I chewed him out. They walk all over you because you're weak. Throw spine, I told him.
I take it that was the wrong approach.
Yeah. I can't imagine how much courage it took for him to come forward about his suffering. I'm sure he felt ashamed about it. And I should have listened when he pleaded for help. I should have told him I was proud of his bravery. But instead, I pushed him away. And in the end, Toshiro tried to make sure he never showed weakness to us again. No matter how much pain he was in. He went to a private school out in Yokohama because he hated living with me. But in the end, he still suffered.
And that's why you didn't hesitate to unleash hell on Mikoshiba.
If you say so.
So the first time Kawana showed up was when he let you listen to the phone call with Sawa-sensei, right?
Yes. He approached me and asked me if I still wanted justice for my son. I was in uniform when he came to me too. Very bold. But it paid off. I owe him a debt of gratitude. He reassured me he had already taken care of multiple individuals like Goshiba, and that he'd urged other families to avenge the children they lost to bullying. He'd tell them that simply being branded a bully wasn't enough. He promised to deliver real justice.
If justice can be served at one's own discretion, laws would cease to serve their function. If the law isn't fair to everyone, no one will obey it. The law is only able to help the powerless because it can't be swayed by money, force, or anything else.
Then tell me, what's the solution when the law fails to punish someone who laughs in its face? To overlook those the law won't judge is to abandon those the law couldn't protect.
To render justice with confidence, you require sufficient evidence.
Some of the victims' families refused Kawana's offer of revenge, telling him it would be unforgivable.
That's the 1 year anniversary of Cyberpunk, isn't it?
Rejecting his offer.
Or was it yesterday? Oh, it was
Not a
yesterday.
one
Yeah,
reported Kawana-san to the police.
That's
Do
something.
you understand what that implies? Whether you follow through with revenge or not, Kawana-san presents a solution that resonates with people. Being that the law is unfair and imperfect. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not. But we're fighting to make it as fair as we can. Laws have to change until they are perfect.
They don't change fast enough. Toshiro's death was murder by another man.
It's been over a year since Valhalla came out.
Mikoshiba
hasn't it?
walked free.
That's weird.
He even got to enroll in a teaching program as a student teacher. Someone like him? It's insane! I'd die of old age before the law was ever written to be fair enough. For Toshiro's sake, I can't turn a blind eye to a world where the Mikoshibas can live without consequence. Tell me, what alternative was there to getting blood on my hands? I didn't have any other choice.
Yagami-san, did he just...
This is the first time you've admitted to killing Mikoshiba.
You really did your research, unlike those useless cops. Kawana-san's plan was impressive, almost airtight. I didn't expect it to be unraveled so quickly.
I just got lucky. There was some dirt on Yui Mamiya that Kawana could have used against her.
Actually, I don't even remember. Someone just posted
If we hadn't
on
found
a
her,
Reddit, did
no way we would have gotten her to talk.
Ezio collection come with any paper?
What are you talking about?
in his case. I don't think it did,
Sorry,
right?
but
In the
I'm under
U.S.
no obligation to tell you.
Where we go here?
You'll be sent to prison as
Oh,
a
there
sex
is.
offender as it stands.
Oh shit! I still have. Holy
Of
shit! They
course.
give you that many?
Just as I planned.
I have 3 fucking
Charges
tickets.
will be confirmed, and
So I
I'll
guess there's
be
stuff in there.
As for the police and
Obviously, it's like
prosecution,
really useless at this point.
they
that
wouldn't
stuff.
be able to admit they made a mistake. I could scream, I killed
I really do.
Sheba,"
Like, I'll be
like
honest. Like, I
this.
kind of want to replay the Ezio Queens.
Are you saying you intend
Well,
to
probably
avenge
wait
murder
until
after you
later in the
release?
year. Oh, I mean next year, technically.
Everyone has
So,
seen the
again,
video
gonna do an
of him
AC3.
killing Sheba by now.
Retrospective, so it's like I might as well play the
But
3
the
games. Too.
prosecution and the police are saying it's fake. They need it to be fake. Even if I do confess, they'll sweep it under the rug.
They wouldn't.
No, that's not beneath them. But I take it how they react doesn't really matter to you. All you want is to humiliate the law, don't you? The same system that determined Toshiro-kun's incident didn't happen.
It seems you're starting to understand, Yagami-san. If the prosecution wanted to charge me for Mikoshiba's murder, then they'd have to retract the battery verdict. And that would mean admitting to a massive blunder by the court at the hands of a criminal. It would be chaos. Despite knowing who murdered Mikoshiba, no one would know what to make of the case. Wouldn't that just be wonderful?
I hear you. And I even get why you'd feel pretty proud of accomplishing that.
Do you?
But in this case, the guy's pretty much grabbed the tiger by the tail.
What tiger's tail?
Someone's issuing orders to the thugs in Kamurocho from behind the scenes. He's the tiger in this case. And they've been closing in on your partner, Kawana. And Sawa-sensei got in their path. I'm sure you get the newspaper in here, right? You know, don't you? Sawa-sensei was killed after the thugs broke into her home. All because she got involved with Kawana.
I'm aware she was killed. But this is the first I'm hearing of the reason why. And by thugs, you mean Arcade?
Yeah, but we don't know why they're going after Kawana. Any ideas?
No way I'd know.
You think it could be because she got mixed up in your deadly little game?
Excuse me?
That's what getting away with murder really looks like. The more you perpetuate the lie, the greater the rift you create. And then, the unthinkable happens. Kawana killed others besides Mikoshiba. You said so yourself. That's what brought the angry tiger into play. And if Sawa-sensei ended up paying for that instead, then how can you begin to believe your vengeance is fair?
Because she gave false testimony. She lied in court to say Toshiro was never bullied.
She couldn't name Mikoshiba, who was a minor at the time, without evidence. What's more, she was haunted by her testimony, always second-guessing if she did the right thing. But now she's been killed. Somehow that's acceptable to you? I'm gonna clear up what happened to Sawa-sensei, just like you did for Toshiro-kun.
How?
By going public with everything you and Kawana did. The first step is to appeal the sexual battery and undo this whole lie.
You never groped Yui Mamiya. That's one crime you're innocent of, Ehara-san. The court's verdict was incorrect. So please give us the chance to appeal. We can prove your innocence.
What on earth would I get out of that?
When's Sasuke again? Something
You
like
get
2
to
weeks?
humiliate the court again. Besides, what are you gonna do for the next half a year in a cell?
Fine. Do what you want. But just know this.
Yes?
I have no intention of admitting to killing Mikoshiba in court. Is your appeal still worth a damn?
We won't know till we try. Let's go, Sari-san. We have client approval to proceed with the appeal. We better act fast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to end
Agreed.
when this cutscene finishes. Gotta go to work in, what, like 20 minutes?
Sawa-sensei's death isn't on me. Even if I have grabbed the tiger by the tail. That doesn't mean I killed her.
By that logic, you may as well admit that Mikoshiba did kill Toshiro-kun. You can't have it both ways. Listen to me. Everything about you, about Kuwana, about why Sawa-sensei had to die, we're gonna expose all of it.
Michael
That's
Naismith
the only
died.
thing left we can do for her.
That's something.
I'm going to fill Genda-sensei in on what happened. Why don't you head over to the office?
Sure thing.
Alright, so... Volunteer. I'll be back probably tonight, but I can't really guarantee it, but like I assume I'll be back tonight. And if not, then I won't be back till probably Monday night, but we'll see. Yeah, thank you for watching.